I'm Michael Sean Harris, and you're listening to Mike's Moment of, a weekly podcast in which I, along with my guests, share our various interests in moments of inspiration, truth, life, technology, culture, and more. I hope you're entertained and informed, and that you feel inspired to join me again and again in my moments of. Hey, Midge.
Hey.
What's up? So, okay. This is Mike's Moment of, and it's again, I guess, kind of technology, but it's really a moment of the super techie. Haha. My good friend Mijanne Webster.
Hey.
We're supposed to do this while I was in Florida, but now we've found a way to do it while I'm in Jamaica and she's in Florida.
Yeah.
And this one we're talking about.
Michael, where are my air horns? Where's my air horn that I asked you for?
You'll get those later. That's in post-production.
Is it really?
And we put them here. Yeah, okay. There.
The measures in the building. Oh, okay, sorry.
Right. Yeah, we're talking about Mij, about you being... Come on.
Okay, good.
All
right, go. Sorry, go.
All right, so yeah, we're talking about you being in technical theater, stage management, all that kind of stuff. Starting in Jamaica, doing that as well as being a violinist, being a musician, and then the journey, what you learned, and then we'll take it from there. So, all right, so how did you get started anyway, in technical theater in Jamaica?
I got started with JMTC.
Jamaica Musical Theatre Company.
Right. My brother is friends with Kyle Chin, and his sister was Belle in Beauty and the Beast. And it was like a holiday where everybody was, I think it was like Beach Juve, those weekends, one of those weekends where everybody goes off to Negril or wherever. Okay. And so they were short on crew. So my brother was just like, hey, follow me to do this thing. Because my brother and I are close, especially when we were kids. We used to do everything together. So I was like, all right. Okay. And him just say, we're all black. I was like, all right. And that was it. That was in 1998.
1998. And that was Beauty and the Beast, you said?
That was Beauty and the Beast, yeah.
Okay. So how was your experience doing that? That was the first time. What did you have to do?
It was, it was really nice. It was really, really easy. It was literally like the stage manager would say, okay, in the next blackout, put this here or go and pick that up. So I just thought it was really easy. I loved it. I really liked it. That was my first time. I had seen My Fair Lady, like Olive Lewin took us to see My Fair Lady probably, I think a year or two before that. And I was just like, man, this is really cool. I want to do this. But I had no clue, like no idea how, and I didn't really think about it again. I thought about it, but I never made any moves until my brother invited me to do it. So I thought it was mad cool and I just loved it.
So after that, when was your next opportunity?
After that, the next year, or I think it was in the summer, I don't remember. What I do remember is that the very next year, we're doing Lion King, and I auditioned, and I was actually in the show, and I did not enjoy it. I loved being in the show. I loved it. I loved every minute of it, but I always missed being in the stage crew. So,
okay.
Right, and so right after Lion King, I think the senior theater company were doing Guys and Dolls, or I don't know, one of those shows. And so I signed up to be crew for that. And so I just kept being crew for JMTC. I was crewing for JMTC for a long time, for a couple of years.
Who were some of the people you met, like the more professional people, because you were just starting out?
That's where I met Robin Baston. I love Robin. Robin has taught me a lot. I mean, in terms of stage tech stuff, I think Robin is the most giving person I ever met. I mean, in general, he is. But in terms of helping me to be a better stage manager, at one time I was technical director and Robin was, I don't know, he's amazing. I met Greg Thames. I met Tanya Allgrove.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. I met everybody in JMTC. And then after that, that's theater is where I met most of my friends. So that's like where I met Chris and Cherry. Yeah, that's where I met you.
Okay. Yeah, you started there, but how did you then transition to, because I've seen you doing stage management and tech stuff in the Grand Gala. I've
Right.
seen, in bigger theater stuff as well, and other
Um,
kinds of shows, and even concerts, that kind of stuff.
right.
So
While I was working at JMTC, Tanya was stage managing the Actor Boy Awards, and so she asked some of the crew to come and help her with that, and that's where I met a lot of people. That's where I met Trevor Nairn, Pablo Hoylet. I got my first job with Pablo Hoylet because I worked on the Actor Boy Awards.
okay, which production was that?
It was called Murder at the Howard Johnson with Audrey Reed and
Wow.
Calvin. Oh my God, what's Calvin's name? I don't remember Calvin's name. And Chris Daly.
Okay, where was the production playing?
It was at the pantry. So
Okay,
right, so it was at
Carl
the
Hart. Okay.
pantry, right, and it was Carl Hart. Yeah, shout out to him. I love him too, and that was a very very different experience because no, I wasn't. With JMTC, it's like there's a stage manager and then there's this big stage crew, and so the stage manager, not that the stage manager doesn't really do anything, but you don't have to be as hands on. When I started working in that first show, I learned like a whole different setup as stage manager. Like you were the one that, first of all, it was just me. There was no stage crew, so I
Right.
had to know. I had to get a prompt book, and I had to schedule rehearsals. I had to
So that's like
schedule.
proper stage
Yeah,
management. Kind of
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
started learning the real stuff there. Okay.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
And
Okay.
from there, I just kept getting invites to the shows. Trevor Nairn asked me to do Actor Boy Awards the very next year after Tanya did it. I think it was like a year or two after that, and then I got to work with Trevor Nairn, and that was also very eye opening because he's very very detailed. And I remember him saying to me, "You're not writing anything down, and it's making me worried." And I was like, "Shh." I don't have to write anything down. It's fine. Like, relax, buddy. But
Little did you know that Trevor changes his mind every 2 days.
oh my god. Oh my god. Oh
Yes.
my god. And
Oh my God.
right, and then so
Right.
that's how I got the job to work at Grand Gala or what is it, Mello, and it was
And the
through it was
festival queen and stuff.
best, yeah, yeah, all those shows, yeah, and so I started working with David Heron, right, like right after Pablo's show left the pantry, David Heron's show came into the pantry, and he asked me to work on his show, and that was also that was also a very eye-opening experience. I worked with Bridget. Bridget was his stage manager, and they needed one stage crew, so an assistant stage
Right.
manager. So,
Okay.
and then Bridget also taught me a lot. Bridget is also very
What's Bridget's full name again?
Bridget Smith.
Yes. But it sounds like there you had a lot of female role models in Jamaica in technical theater.
I absolutely had a lot of female role models in Jamaica. I had Scarlett,
Right. Scarlett Bahari.
I had Bridget, I had Tanya, I had Delia Harris. I mean,
Yes.
she was not as a tech, but just a
In
female in the industry. I hate using the word female. Just a woman in the industry, like
right, right.
being awesome. I love every single actor that I've ever worked with. There's no actor that I don't like. Maybe one, but Karen
Okay.
Harriott is an amazing person to work with. Yeah, there are lots of women.
It just felt like a very natural thing then to be in theater and technical theater and
It did feel like a natural thing. It wasn't. I didn't exert any effort at all. Actually, no. No is when I'm working. Like literally, it's taking effort to be stage crew. Nadia at UA, she's
Nadia Roxburgh.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
While you were doing this, you were also playing because you play violin and you were playing in orchestras and you were playing for different pop artists, reggae acts as well. So how did you manage that and who were you playing for?
Um, I started playing for Jacure, and then being on tour with Jacure, I ended up playing for a lot of reggae people like the Richie Spices, the I Waynes, a lot of people. I don't remember. No, I really don't. But I
Okay.
toured with, but the main person I was touring with was Cure. So I would, when I was touring, I wasn't stage managing a lot.
Right.
It
Okay.
was when we, it just happened to line up that when when he had a lot of shows, when he had the most shows, the theater season would be on break. So that worked out
Okay.
great for me, you know.
Right. Right.
And then I would be working on other shows. I remember I was working for Fabian Thomas, great guy, love him.
Mm-hmm.
And he got another stage manager. And so I thought that that was really nice and accommodating. And so whenever I would have to go off, I was stage managing a show, but whenever I had to leave, somebody else would come and stage manage for
Okay.
that weekend. And so
Okay.
that's basically how I managed it. Sometimes it clashed, but for the most part, I think I worked it out well.
So was your like your mom was your family like really supportive of this, or she was like, "What is this you're doing?" Or
My mom was supportive until until I started to get like a little bit older, and then she was just like, "So, what what you doing? Like, what you doing in your life? Like, what you gonna do?" But I think by that time, I was traveling a lot, with not only with Cure, but it just so happened that a lot of the shows that I worked on would travel as well. After a while, she just relaxed a little bit, you know. My mother
okay.
is very supportive. She's always been.
Okay. But you kind of started this kind of out of high school, pretty much,
I
right? Because
started right out of high school. I don't know. I like a lot of things were just weird. I even with music school, I just happened to be at Edna Manley for a rehearsal or something for a show that I was stage managing, and Mr. Yo was just like, auditions are happening. Why don't you come and audition? And I was just like, all right. I don't have my violin. He's like, well, violin's here, and I auditioned and I got into School of Music, and it was like, oh, all right then, kind of, you know what I mean?
so that was because you went to school of music like twice now. I mean, because that was the first time. How long did that last?
Right. That lasted for a little bit over a year. I dropped out because we were going to England for 3 months, and I was not going to not go to England for 3 months to work on a show. So I went, and then the second time, that was when Cure asked me to go on tour, and again, I was not going to give up. Travel the
Well,
world. Yeah. So
yeah, man, you have to make a decision, and it is what
yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
So, all right, it was what for the Jamaican part of it? Give me some of your high points in terms of the theatrical and the concert and the big event things. What were some of your high points?
My high points. I definitely liked working on the Jamaica 50 show.
I was working on that show.
That's part of the reason I really enjoyed working on
Okay,
that show. I loved working on anything that JMTC did because their shows were musicals, and I love
right.
musicals. Like, I'm one of those people that on a random day you will hear like Rent coming from my car, or you know what I mean.
Right.
So any show that JMTC did that I was a part of, Bubbling Brown Sugar, Guys and Dolls, The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Mama I Wanna Sing was an amazing show.
Right. Were you there for Sarafina?
I was there for Sarafina. That was one of the best shows JMTC ever did. Working with Alwyn Bully and Paula Shaw
Ah, okay.
is you
And
can't really
and Peter
ask for
Ashburn, right?
that. And Peter Ashburn.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was an amazing experience, Sarafina. That
yeah.
definitely a high point. Thank you for that.
I did see that. That was awesome. Oh,
Was
you were to Kathy Leave. That's right. With Imagine, right? Right.
Imagine that
I
was.
worked on that show too. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I was musical director, I guess. Yeah.
We were at rehearsals and stuff. I don't remember.
Some of them. Yeah, well, I did a lot of the music for Imagine, me
Oh, okay.
and John. Yeah.
Okay, that's how big the production was. Like, two best friends were working and didn't realize it. I'm kidding.
It was
Yeah,
massive. No,
it
man.
was
Yeah.
huge. It was huge.
You were part of Ashley at some point,
I was not a part of Ashe. Can I tell the Ashe story?
but you worked with Ashley. Sure.
I worked on Curfew with Ashe, and that also was an amazing experience. That show was the music, the story, everything. I loved working on that show. I love the cast. I love Ashe. Like, I've always wanted to be in Ashe.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just funny now that I'm really good friends with you, and like I hang out with Roslyn, and I hang out with Michael Holgate, because I remember Ashley used to come to Wolmer's all the time, and I used to be like, man, I wish I could be in Ashley. Like, I really wanted to be in Ashley. Chris Jobson was so hot.
He
Yeah.
kind of looks the same now still, so
Does he?
he does. Hasn't really changed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I worked on a few things with Ashley. So
All right. So now you're living in the U.S. You're living in Florida, and you've recently started working technical. It's not really a theater necessarily, but it's like crew, but it's the same thing, or is it? I mean, you tell me.
technically it's the same thing. I'm a stage crew. Like,
Right.
I'm not a stage manager or a TD or all the fabulous things that I'm used to in Jamaica. I'm literally a
Right.
stage crew. So I'm literally the person that builds the stage, like puts the
Okay.
scaffolding together and then bring the
Right.
plywood and then bring the decks, and this is the hardest I've ever worked in my life. I am dying.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah,
But how did working in the stuff that you did in Jamaica prepare you for this? Did it or
I think it prepared me. Um, huh, that's a really good question. Let me think about that for 1 minute. How did working in Jamaica prepare me? Because it is different. It's really different. I think I understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, so I don't think it's not important. Did I say that
explain
right?
that?
Meaning, it can be hard for you to be like, man, I'm just like, this deck is so heavy. Or, I'm just a person that puts the lights up, because I'm literally on a ladder with a harness on, or on a rig with a harness on, putting lighting fixtures up. I've never had to do that
Hmm.
before. Before it was just like, I was a person that walks in and push the button, or or with sound, so now I'm actually learning what I'm doing. So it kind of
Okay.
helps me back ways.
But you think that the experience in Jamaica kind of gave you a broader perspective, so you kind of know what the bigger picture is. So you know that
Yes. Yeah.
because you're doing one part of the bigger picture, you
Right.
you get a better understanding of what the whole thing
Right.
is. So know your
Right.
contribution to
Exactly.
it. Okay,
Exactly.
okay, okay. What are some of the things that you have been doing? Or like, what's the company that you work for?
I worked for this company named Rebecca's Dream Crew. Um, and
Rebecca's Dream Crew. Okay,
yeah, and so what we are, is that we're the crew that executes the plans. So the guy that owns the company meets with the technical director, and he gives us the layout of the stage, and so we execute that. So we're basically the ones that look at the plans and be like, okay, them need a 250 by 350 stage with three risers, or and then we'll put up all the lights, put together all the trussings, rig all the LED panels, rig all the sound equipment, and then sometimes we'll stage manage a show. So like the very first time I stage managed was like a week ago, last week. With
was this a festival, the Boca
Yeah,
Festival, or
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I stage managed postmodern
okay,
jukebox, which really and truly I had nothing to do. It was just stay there, make sure they do that.
okay,
It's fine.
they have what they need, right? Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, the Boca Festival. What are all the different acts and stuff that were on the Boca Festival?
The Boca Festival was amazing. They had
Well, I came and saw you, and we saw the Empire Strikes Back with the orchestra
yeah, yeah, yeah.
playing the score live. That was awesome.
That was
What else? What else was there? Postmodern jukebox. What else?
postmodern jukebox was there. The Erokio trio was there. They were amazing.
What's that?
It's like a full orchestra, and then the three soloists. It's a group. It's a trio,
Ah,
but it's violin, cello, and piano.
right.
And so like for that day, right, like that's what I felt good about. Like for that day, Steph, who is my crew chief, he was just like, Mijanne, today will be an easy day for you. All you have to do is keep shining that piano. Just make sure that piano is shining. And like I thought about it, and I was like, man, this is so cool. Like, I'm getting paid to shine a Steinway grand piano. Like, it sounds ridiculous, it sounds ridiculous. And like when you're doing it and you're doing the wax on, wax off, and the Karate Kid movies playing in your head, it feels trivial
Right.
until
Showtime.
showtime and the lights hit it, and you understand why. And like that one fingerprint that's on it bugs you the whole night, and you can't
Right.
wait for a chance to go and get it off. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
so those are, I really enjoyed that. Worked on. Oh, you were asking me about the festival, right? Yeah, Postmodern Jukebox was amazing.
Right.
If you don't know Postmodern Jukebox, they basically, it's a band, and they basically take hit songs from the 80s, 90s, 2000s recently, and
Right.
they play different arrangements. They play the hit songs, but they play them in different arrangements, and it was amazing. As a musician, that was amazing. Like, as a musician, I don't mind rigging some LED panels for them because it
Right.
just make the show wicked, you know?
Right. Right. Did they have Puddles Pity Party as a guest singer? No. You know who that is? That's a tall clown that sang Royals with them.
No. But what they did have, that I'm stealing for my next show, is that they had a tap dancer randomly run across the stage and tap dance in the middle of things.
Okay.
It was so awesome. It was just like they're just playing. You're trying to make me go to rehab, and I said, "Tack that, tack 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 tack." And when you look, the lights come up, and there's this youth tap dancing, and it's
Oh, that's cool.
just, yeah, it was wicked, and it happened
That's
at
nice.
different times in the show. And then
Okay.
at one point he was tap dancing, and then he came and he and the drummer had like a fight, like a play fight,
Right.
and
Right. 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 Like a face off.
right, and then he started playing drums, and it was ridiculous. Like, I'm
Wow.
so happy I
Okay.
saw that show. What else have worked on the Super Bowl? That was cool. That was awesome.
Oh, you just say it so lightly. Oh, the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yes, that
Did you
was.
get to meet any of the superstars that were on?
Did not get to meet any of the superstars. Who I got to meet was Deion Sanders. Who, that don't mean nothing to nobody. But if you watch football, you understand exactly who that is.
Yeah, and I know you're a big football fan.
Yeah, I am.
So,
I'm a bigger basketball fan, but yeah.
okay.
And I'm not watching football right now because we're still with Cap. But I needed that
Okay.
whole money, honey. I needed that Super Bowl money.
That's right.
Right. So I met Christian Bast. When you watch a lot of ESPN, when you watch a lot of sports, especially the big games like the championships or whatever, and the game
Right.
ends, and you see directed by Christian Bast, that's who I met. I was
Ah.
so, and the thing is, for some reason, he just really liked me. He just really trusted me. So we were talking a lot because in shows like that, corporate, who for the Super Bowl, corporate is the NFL, and Christian
Right.
Bale is the one that's working for the NFL. So when we finish building all the stages and putting up all the whatever, he has to do a walkthrough to approve everything. And if he
Okay.
doesn't like something, we literally have to take it down or whatever.
And do it again. Mhm.
Yeah, but the point is, it was really nice and again, it sounds simple, like, oh, today I did a walkthrough with Christian Bast, and it sounds simple, but it really isn't. It's
It's a
like,
big deal.
yeah, it is, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know, they really liked us. They actually asked us back to do
Oh.
some. NFL is doing something again, like I
Oh,
don't know
that's great.
and we're going to work on that. So that was nice.
But
Worked on a Trump
but stuff like on a what?
rally. Yep.
So you worked on a Trump rally. Hmm.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Because
Let me tell you, when a lot of these shows that will start working on, we'll have to sign. They email us an NDA.
right,
To sign
non-disclosure
and
agreement. Right.
and they have to sign it as well. So a lot of the shows that we're working on, we actually don't know what we're working on until very late in the process. So when I was
Okay.
on the Christian Dior fall fashion show, we had no.
Right.
I thought that we were building a stage for Super Bowl rehearsals. That's what I thought.
Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't know until like a day or two before. And they take your phone,
Right.
going into the venue, they take your phone.
Because they have to control the press and the social media thing, leaks and stuff.
Exactly. So, I mean, we knew that we were working on the Super Bowl. We just couldn't talk about it. We couldn't tell people.
Right.
Like I can't come home and like reel after Diana what happened today. You can't do that.
Right.
Like same thing
Okay.
with the Christian Dior thing. You know, I can't call you and be like, Mike's like, oh my god, I saw David
Yeah.
Beckham today. Like I saw Chris,
Right.
like you know. So anyway,
Yeah.
so we were working on this show that was in the convention center in West Palm Beach, and it was massive. The stage was massive. The backdrop, the LED backdrop was massive. Like
Wow.
lighting fixtures were, I think we put up 200, 230 lighting fixtures. I mean, it wasn't
Wow.
as much as Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is ridiculous. But anyway,
Oh, you did that too.
yeah, we did Tony Robbins. It was like a,
Okay.
anyway. So so we're like, what is this? And then what started happening was, first of all, we didn't. This was the most uncomfortable I personally have been working with the stage company that was designing the show and the crew around me. And then we noticed when the merch started coming in, like, okay, this is weird. The merch says problematic woman. Okay, that's weird. All right. And you know me, like, I'm highly political. And then
Yes.
some more merch comes in and they're like, I walk over to get some water and I look down and I see a gun. And I'm like, what?
What?
But it looks so real. It's actually they're giving our merch with cups, right? The cup is the American
Right.
flag, but then the thing under the cup to hold it down is the gun handle. And it looked real.
Oh.
And I'm just like, okay, what is happening here? And then I noticed that we put up like a 300-foot American flag. I'm like, huh, this is interesting. And then so we worked out that we were actually working on Turning Point USA, which is a huge
Okay.
truck rally that is for college kids.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I'm still conflicted
Okay.
about that one. Met Donald Trump Jr. quite by accident. Nice
Okay.
guy. Never gonna vote for any, but yeah,
Yeah. But I mean, end of the day, it's a job.
yeah,
And
yeah, 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 yeah. But
yeah, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying. At the end of the day, it is a job. I think if I knew what it was before I did it, yeah, I probably still would do it for a lot
Yeah.
of reasons. Yeah, it was a good
Right. I
experience.
mean,
It would look amazing on
because you don't want to let down your crew either, the people that
yeah.
you're working with as well.
Half of the crew when we realized that we were working on a Trump rally didn't show up. They just didn't come back to work,
Uh huh.
and that's part of the reason it
Oh,
was
really?
enjoyable because 10 of us were doing a 20 people job. Like people
Wow.
were just
Okay.
like hell no,
Okay.
and them just never come back. It was like all right,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
With some of the things, the like the Boca Festival where you sing the orchestra and stuff, and you're a violinist. Does that pull on your musician heartstrings? It's like, oh man, I should be on
yeah,
stage
absolutely.
playing violin.
100%. My crew chief Steph and my boss Evan has like 5 or 6 videos of me looking over the first violin, like the last person in the first violin section, looking over, reading the music and playing it. Like they have videos of me. And
That's
I
funny.
saw them over there standing up laughing. I just didn't realize why. And I got so, at one point, I got really lost in the music. And yes, it does, absolutely. When that band was on stage, the PMJ, because, we're friends now, so I can call it
Right.
PMJ.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like I really, really, really missed being on stage. I do. When I work stage
Okay.
crew in certain instances, I do miss being on stage. I never ever
Okay.
miss being stage crew when I'm on stage playing because
Okay. Right. Okay.
it's like as a performer, the thing is, I look at it really differently now. Like I'm just not ever going to walk away and leave my water, my half drunk bottle of water on stage. I'm just never going to do that to a stage crew ever again. You know,
Right. Yeah.
I'm very aware just to be extra respectful because when I walk in to a venue at 3 p.m. for a sound check, I'm now going to know that that person who is trying to help me to get my stuff together, I'm now going to know that they were there at 6 o'clock
Right.
this morning. So just
Right.
take my time, like just be nice. I think it
Right.
was
Right. Right. Be respectful.
Be respectful. I mean, I think I'm pretty respectful to stage crew, but I think no, I definitely have context behind like the day they're having. You know what I mean?
Right, 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 right. For people who are thinking about doing, technical theater, and even just a career generally in the industry, quote unquote industry, which meaning being a performer or being in technical theater, being in both, as you have done. What kind of advice would you give them though? I mean, is there anything you'd say? Stay clear of this, or make sure you try and do this, or talk to this person.
I would say I'd say study.
Study what?
I'm not sure if you can do it in Jamaica now, but here there are programs that you can do to become a stage tech. They don't call
Right.
it a stage crew, or they call you a stage tech. I got this job because I have like years of experience, and I definitely know that I can be a stage manager. You know that I can be a
Right.
stage manager. Everybody knows that I can be a stage manager. But here, I don't have that piece of paper to say I did this and I have a
Okay.
certificate or I have a degree. And so because of that, is I kind of have to prove myself. So it will take longer.
Yes. Yes.
You know
Okay.
what I mean? So, and my advice would be, Jamaica is nice. It's nice to live there. But if you want to take stage tech seriously, learn as much as you can. But then at some point, being just a stage crew in Jamaica is not going to cut it financially.
Right. Okay.
If we be real, like I can give you a politically correct answer and be like, oh,
No man, no man. Of course, we want it to be real.
that would be my advice. Set up yourself in a way where you can leave Jamaica and you can come up here and maximize, get like the best out of your experience.
I mean, ultimately, it'd be great if there was a program, and I'm saying this, with clenched teeth, because I've suggested these kinds of programs before. A program in Jamaica that would teach technical theater, being a stage tech. So maybe it's in the future,
I mean,
if somebody.
I learned stage tech. Everything I know about stage is just somebody did have the time to tell me,
Right.
or just somebody had the patience, or just somebody saw me doing something somewhere. Like there isn't like a lot of the stage techs here. They know each other because they went to Full Sail. Just going to school alone gives you access to a lot.
Right, because you have a network. You have a built-in
Yeah,
network.
yeah. Like there's just this one person. He doesn't live at home. Like all year long, he's doing all the festivals because he
Okay.
went to some school. It wasn't even a name brand school, but it gave him access to all these different
Right.
festivals, and so you name it, every festival he's done it. And it's because he went to school for 3 years, and he's just like it don't even need
Right.
to be 3 years. You know what I mean? But
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
it have to be. Um,
Right. Yeah.
so that would be my advice.
Is there a skill or a set of skills that you picked up from your experiences in Jamaica, or from someone in particular in Jamaica, that turned out to be kind of impressive to the crew or to the people you're working for now?
Um, I know that they really like me. I know that they,
Okay.
I know that the stage crew was weird to me at first, but I know that I've earned their respect. I'm not really sure what I did. you know,
Okay.
Honest, I don't know. I think in Jamaica we don't have a lot of access to tools. It is a luxury here. I'm just going to be real. I'm not going to try and be politically correct. There are a lot of luxuries here that I did not have when I was stage crew in Jamaica. And so I think that I'm used to working just I just don't have any complaints when I'm at work. I
Okay.
just do my work. I don't need
What kind of luxuries do you mean?
just like they're very aware. Here's
Okay.
the thing here, it is the law that after 2 hours we have to get a break.
Right. Right. Unions. They have. I mean.
Yes. I work through my break. My phone, like everybody has their phone set to to when the break is. And it's like I just work through it because I'm just like, we don't take no breaks. We'll just work until the work
Right.
is done.
Right.
You know, every 2 hours you have to take a break. Every 4 hours you have to stop to eat. They have to feed you. If they don't feed you, you get paid extra. Like if they're not providing
Right.
food. I think they're very, very aware, not because they're nice, but because it's the law that you get treated a certain way. And
Right. Right.
this is coming off really badly for Jamaica. I don't know if I like it.
No, but I understand what you're saying. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of times, we have that Jamaican saying you have to turn your hand, make fashion. A lot of times, that's what you
Yes.
have to do.
Yes.
And maybe that is also has become an advantage for you,
And so,
because
and
if
so
something
when
isn't
you're here,
working,
exactly. And so when you're here and something isn't working out and you just figure it out and you just do it, everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're amazing!" But no,
right?
not really. Just because.
I think that's something though that in Jamaica sometimes we don't. Again, it comes back to the awareness. We're not completely aware of the value of the knowledge that we have, the skills that we have, especially as creative people and technical people. So we don't monetize, and we don't
There's no
charge
structure. There's no
what we're worth.
structure is the word that you're looking
Right,
for.
the
And
structure
I
is
think,
missing.
and actually, yes, now that we're able to talk it through, and I'm not, the advantage is that in Jamaica, I was learning because I didn't concentrate on one thing. I can work a soundboard, I can work a lighting board, as well as I can put up the lights. You know what I mean? As well as
Right,
I know how to connect speakers and whatever. And the thing is, so they feel like they found gold with me because, like at the festival, the guy that was doing sound, him just never have any cares in the world because I was there. And if he want to walk off and go and smoke a
okay,
stint, it will be okay because I'm there. You know what I mean?
right.
And there's not a lot of that here. They're very concentrated on what they do.
Right. So it's something, because you heard the interview with Peter Ashburn, and you're saying he was a jack of all trades, and it worked for him. And being in Jamaica, it worked for him. While if he moved to the US, he would have to specialize, because everybody's kind of
One
specialized
hundred
in their
percent.
area.
One
Right.
hundred percent. For
But somehow this has become an advantage for you. Being able to cover so many different areas,
yes,
and not necessarily being a specialist in one.
yes.
And now you can be a specialist in one if you want, but you still have that kind of
Yeah,
background.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. Right.
Yes.
That's great.
Thank you for
Okay.
pointing that out. I haven't even stopped to think about that. Actually,
Oh,
I didn't.
oh,
I
cool.
never stopped to think about that at all. Let me just give you a quick ear horn right there.
I'll make sure to put that in. Um, okay, so what's next for you now? I mean, you're doing the technical thing, but you're also teaching. You're teaching violin.
I am teaching violin at Samash. Yes,
How's that going?
it's going really well.
That's not as hectic as the technical
It's
work, is
not
it?
hectic at all. It really
Right.
isn't. It's just some half an hour classes, or some of them are an hour. And
Okay.
I feel like I'm the best version or one of the better versions of myself when I'm a teacher.
Okay. Why?
I completely forgot about that. Well, I think I provide a very safe space for people, and I think that,
Okay.
like, one of my students was saying to me, he came to learn violin because it was just something that he always wanted to do, and now him have the time, and him kids move out and whatever. And but no, it's not even about violin for him. It's just like a place for him to come and relax.
Okay. Okay. So it's almost like a hang.
Yeah, it's like I'm not one of those teachers that are like, rule that and fit. I mean, I'm strict, with my students, especially the ones that are in high school, and like, you chose to come here. You know what I mean? You're paying me.
Right. Right.
If you say that you want to be a violinist and you want to go to Dreyfus in 2 years, I'm gonna need you to practice the instrument. And you know, but it's still cool. I don't know. I think I just make it fun, and I think I really like myself because it's a chance for me to give. That high that you feel when you're playing on stage and there are like a lot of people screaming at you is a very
Yeah.
different kind of feeling. I just feel really fulfilled when I teach. But
Yeah.
I really like giving that part of myself. I think I'm a better teacher than I am player,
Right.
is what I said all those words to say.
Okay.
I'm a better teacher than I am.
Okay.
Yeah. So I really like that. And it's when I'm
Okay.
most
Cool.
confident. Whenever I have a violin in my hand, I'm either teaching or performing on stage, and I think I'm more confident when I'm teaching. So
Interesting. Okay.
I
Cool.
like that. Yeah.
I think this is good. Thank you. Thanks for making the time. I mean, I know we're both quarantined and stuff, but
yeah, they cancelled all, like everything is cancelled. I'm just at home watching Netflix all day. My life has no meaning.
Well, I have a list of things. I'm so happy to be at home. I have a list of things to do, so it's great. But we're going to talk again, and we'll talk about some other things. We're going to talk about Uptownia in another...
Uptownia? Oh, just get me started on Uptownia.
Yeah, we'll get there. All right, Mish, thanks a lot. Love you.
All right, love you too, bye.